Hello, my name's Paul,
Hi, my name's Rachel.
and we are the English Language Lab, and this is our business English podcast, BizPod.
We're going to try to teach you everything you need to know about business English.
So, whether you need English for job hunting, presentations, meetings, or any other form of communication, you have come to the right place.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy BizPod. We're here for another BizPod.
We are, and today we're talking about the money.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
We love money. So, are you a saver or a spender?
What do you think?
Well, you tell me.
I'm a spender.
Okay. What am I?
You're a saver. Women like to shop, men don't.
Okay. And, well, why do you like to spend money?
It's enjoyable.
Do you not get joy from other things rather than just spending money?
Well, of course, I know, but I just like shopping, that's all. But anyway, it's not about shopping. This is about business, okay? It's a biz pod. So I want to express how important it is for people to talk about the money. We're talking about when you're getting a new job for an interview, for promotions, to be recognised at work. I would like to convey to people that it's always important to talk about the money.
Yeah, didn't you tell me you'd read an article about men in job interviews talking about how they can make the company more money and save more money for a company, but women tend to shy away from that subject?
Well, it was actually a TED Talk, and I'm going to link it.
Okay.
But it's not about shying away from it. It's basically when women get careers advice, they're not usually told to talk about the money. They talk about their skills and their achievements and what abilities they've got. And obviously in an interview, you're always supposed to suggest to the company what you can do for them, how they could benefit from employing you. But for some reason, they don't talk about the money. It's not a case of shy away. They just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
But I think most men in job interviews tend not to talk about money in terms of a salary, but perhaps they would talk about money in terms of, say, successes. You know, I have saved my company, $3 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about salary. I'm talking about for you, for the company, I have the ability to save you money. I have the ability to make you money.
Okay. So, well, how can you save a company money?
Oh, I don't know, because I work for myself. So.
Okay. How can you make money for your company then?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously do more lessons, work harder, longer hours. But my point is, in business English, you've got to know how to talk about the money, how to talk about savings, how to talk about sales. So there is a whole area of vocabulary and language and expressions that in business you should know. Now, we're in the business of teaching English, so therefore we need to teach these expressions to business English students.
Okay then. Right, so where do we start? What sort of expressions should we focus on right now?
Well, first of all, there's a whole plethora of money, finance vocabulary, sort of things around banking, profit and loss statements, Bitcoin, borrowing and lending, two different verbs depending on the direction, getting out a loan, budgeting, cash dispensing, different currencies, exchange rates, legal tender, investing, interest, installments, fees. I could go on and on and on.
Well, let me stop you and let's talk about budgets, because I think budgets is a very interesting subject and possibly something everybody will need to talk about at some point, especially if you're a project leader or a project manager, head of a department, team leader. You have a budget. Okay, so what is a budget? Can you define a budget?
It's an amount of money that the company has given you to spend on a certain activity.
Okay, and is it always in a monetary value? Because like, for example, if you're managing a project, the project might have 100 people. but you don't pay for them. They're already employed by the company.
Yeah, but there'll be a budget for the cost of that resource.
Okay.
So then you might have to recruit somebody new, but their salary would take you over the budget. So you might look for somebody else who maybe is cheaper on the salary scale, but might need a little bit of training.
Okay, so resources that could be people, the building that you're in, it could be the technology, the equipment that you're using, and all of that costs money. So you have to budget for everything.
Yeah. Well, there's also a lot of financial idioms.
That's true. My favourite is to be in the red.
Oh, which hopefully you never are, Paul.
Never, because I'm a saver. Remember,
Oh,
I'm never in the red. I save my money, and I never use credit.
Okay.
I'm never in the red.
Okay, all right. Well, on a monthly basis, Paul, how do you crunch the numbers?
I have an app.
Ah?
I have an app to crunch the numbers for myself. I put all of the money coming in the app. I put all of the expenses in the app, and that crunches the numbers. I'm a bit of a penny pincher as well.
Ooh, what does that mean? Come on, tell me about penny pinching.
It just means I'm careful with money.
You're thrifty.
Yeah, as opposed to other people who I won't mention who are perhaps not careful with their money.
I just like to spend. What is it? Never a lender nor a borrower be.
Yeah, that's a great sort of metaphor, I think, isn't
so
it?
I spend money, but I never lend it to anybody, and I never borrow off you. So I think you should be happy.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about investing now. Stocks and shares. The hot thing to do these days is to actually, dabble with a little bit of your own money on the stock market to try and make $1 million or $2 million if you can. But there's lots of vocabulary around that, like a bull or a bear market.
Okay, that's true. A bull market is obviously a market that's doing really well. A bear market is a market that's not doing very well.
Okay.
Have you ever dabbled in stocks and shares?
Absolutely not.
Why?
It's risky business.
Ah, risky business. What about Bitcoin?
No.
You could be a millionaire if you had bought Bitcoin 10 years ago, like when they were worth next to nothing. You would be very, very rich right now.
I'd be very, very rich, but it would be locked away because I will have forgotten my password.
Okay. What about the phrase haggling range? Have you ever had to haggle for something?
Yeah, when we buy a car, we're always haggling.
Yeah. What about going to a supermarket? Can you haggle in a supermarket?
Not really. Not in Eurospin.
Why not?
Things are already cheap. Bargain basement prices.
Yeah, but you should always try and haggle.
Not in the supermarket.
Okay, but how about on the in a farmer's market? Can you haggle there?
I don't know. Maybe they might be open to haggling. Depends what you buy, whether it's one item or a lot of items.
Yeah, I mean, in some cultures, I think in sort of Hong Kong or sort of Asian countries, haggling is part of the culture.
Hong Kong, is it?
Yeah, you go to a market and you're expected to haggle.
Ah. All right, well, the last thing I suppose we ought to mention is economic crisis. We're in another one. There was one 2007, 2009, and now into another one because of the pandemic.
Yeah, it's like almost every country is in a recession at the moment.
Ah, recession, good word. What does that mean, Paul?
Well, a recession means basically your economy is shrinking rather than growing. Which, yeah, I think almost every country is struggling because of the pandemic.
Okay, but the only way is up.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a song. The only way is up.
The only way is up. I'll put that in the link.
Yeah, but that's not true.
Okay. Well, do you know another saying?
No.
If you hit rock bottom, at least you know your feet are on solid ground.
Well, I don't think the economies have hit rock bottom yet.
Oh no! Double dip.
Oh yeah, there could be a double dip. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And the last thing I wanted to say is sometimes with money, and especially not necessarily money, but trends. Trends go sometimes with money, financial forecasting, but trends, talking about trends, not just for business English, but IELTS, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to talk about trends over time.
Yeah. So there's lots to learn when it comes to talking about money. I think we've sort of exposed our listeners to some phrases and some key vocabulary, but there's so much more to learn. You know, we could talk for hours just about money. In fact, there are some podcasters who do talk for hours just about money.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's it now, Paul. We better go and earn some money and save some money.
Yeah, I think we better have. Yeah, we'll definitely save.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
We can earn and save, but not spend.
Okay. Whatever you say, Paul.
Bye.